descended upon America. Organized crime is sweeping the nation, and hard-working citizens have become targets. And behind all this terror, gangsters.
Welcome to the city of New Temperance. This is the Chicago way game, and the scenario within the game itself is today there are two gangs vying for control of the various illicit activities going on within the town. So over here in Pingo Mines we have the Birmingham Boys, very similar to those of the Peaky Blinders of TV fame. However, they are the Birmingham Boys within New Temperance. And over here within the Dino Gas headquarters, we have the American Boys, and they're going to be vying for control of the various illicit activities, as I've mentioned. There are 7 locations to seize, each with their own independent NPC guard force. Within the Green Factory, we have a number of bootleg stills. They have 3 guards. Over in the Lexington Hotel, we have a dancehall speakeasy with a jazz band playing to some of the ladies within the city of New Temperance. In the middle, the coffee has turned the coffee location has turned into a gambling den. Again, it seems to be the ladies that always seem to have the passion for illicit activities here. Again, with 3 men guarding. Outside, in the marketplace, 3 are also guarding the market. This is where they conduct some of their illicit activities, buying and selling, etc. Over in the Chicago Hotel, we have our ladies of the night and the brothel with their pimps and guards. Moving over to the tenement block. Inside we have another speakeasy for the working men. So this one's selling green beer and all the lower quality of alcohol. However, right across we have the very easily hidden Red Lion pub. However, this one is under police protection because this is a favourite of the elite and the politicians, and therefore they're very happy to sit out in the beer garden drinking their Canadian whiskey whilst under protection of the New Temperance police force. So that's the overview of the game. And once they've defeated the NPCs, then you send somebody into the factory to basically take control by speaking to the manager very nicely and saying, "You now belong to me." We'll do that as part of as an action test. At the end of turn 1, the Birmingham Boys have sallied forth from Pingo Mines and are trying to take over Cool Beans Cafe and Casino. With 3 advancing from the ground and a couple are advancing over the gangway, also having the ability to then go towards the red line afterwards. The only casualty of the turn so far is the hoodlum that was stood outside on guard. He took a number of shots, but he was finally felled by the leader of the Birmingham Boys, Tommy Shelby. Fortunately, he wasn't actually killed outright. He failed his nerve test and then ran away and then was cut down by the fire as he was running away. Over here, towards the American Boys with Dino Gas, they have also come out into 3 different groups, with the boss leading a small contingent towards Holland and Wolf. And the beer suppliers, they've got a bit of a tough issue because the NPCs inside have taken up good firing positions at the windows and are returning fire. Their second group has moved out and is trying to take the Chicago Hotel from the rear. This hasn't activated the NPCs just yet, and just for awareness, the rules that we play with NPCs are that they remain out of the game, i.e. they don't get a card until they've either been shot at or they've been activated by somebody getting within 20 centimetres of them. Once they have been activated, they then get a card as normal. And then they go through the standard play as you would normally do with the cards, with the other player playing them. There's a couple of base rules they have to follow. The NPC must seek cover, but must also advance closer to the enemy, and they only see the enemy as the gang that has shot at them. So, for example, the chaps here in Cool Beans Calf, they will only react towards the Birmingham Boys. They won't react towards the American Boys until the American Boys have that interaction with them, whether that's shooting or, again, within the proximity of them. Likewise, these chaps here over in the market, they're not going to react until somebody comes within that distance. And what you generally find is that a bit of a truce happens between the two players as they're trying to focus their attention on seizing the locations. So at the end of turn 2, we have the Birmingham Boys have defeated the guards of the Cool Beans Cafe and Casino, with the 2 dead inside and the 1 outside. The American Boys are moving upon the Hollander Wolf defenders, putting a bit of pressure with the Tommy Gunner having 2 under 5 markers and the outside Gangster having the 1. They've also moved within the Chicago Hotel, with these 2 models that you can see actually within the ground floor of the hotel. Unfortunately, it's a little bit hard to get in there, with some pressure being applied to the front. However, having the second floor gunners allows them to reach down and attack anybody who's moving around. Over at the Red Lion, the police have been notified of the activity that's been ongoing, and the Birmingham Boys have moved across and down the gangway, with a bit of short range activity going on here. The policeman who's on the outside with his shotgun has taken a lot of the firing, and he's lucky to be alive because he's out in the open. However, he has been supported by his friend, who has left his post over to the left at the gate, with his friend who was guarding the door has now moved down towards Tommy Shelby and has just received some fire from there. So at the moment, nobody owns any of the buildings yet. The Birmingham Boys are about to take ownership of Cool Beans, hopefully this turn, as long as they pass their test. And then we'll see what happens with the American Boys between the Chicago Hotel and also Holland and Wolf Brewery. So at the end of turn 3, the Birmingham Boys have seized control of Cool Beans, with Ada Thorne having a nice chat with the proprietor of the venue, and she decided to join the Birmingham Boys to pay some protection money. However, the market crew were attacked by Johnny Dogs, who did a very good shooting action and killed one guy without even being aware, but was then killed in return by the boss of the market crew with close range Tommy gun firing. One of his other henchmen has moved in, has tried to fire towards Ada Thorne with inside the Cool Beans and their newly owned casino parlour. Over to the Red Lion, the police have taken a bit of a fire with Tommy Shelby gunning down the policemen who've moved around the pavement, with Polly Gray shooting one of the policemen, with the other one receiving some fire from Alfie Solomons. The patrons of the Red Lion are generally unconcerned about the shooting that's going on, knowing that no one's going to attack the civilians. Over here at the Holland and Wolf Brewery, the American Boys have lost one of their number as he ran up towards the window, but unfortunately before he could fire, he got shot in the face by a Tommy gunner, and the American Boys' boss received a loss of fire and basically couldn't move because he was unjamming his weapon at the time, with the BAR gunner down here providing a bit of fire support. Over in the middle, a couple of riflemen have been exchanging fire, with one of the Holland and Wolf crewmen being killed, and inside the Chicago hotel. The American boys have managed to get inside. It's been very bloody, with one guard being killed, one of the American boys being killed in return, and there's a bit of a close quarters combat going on between close range pistol shooting. And yeah, that's where we're at the moment. So at the moment, at the end of turn 3, the score is 1-0 to the Birmingham Boys, as they control one of the locations, with the other 3 still under contention.
Can touch them. They make their own rules, ordering their hoods and minions to run riot throughout the city. The police, the district attorneys, the judges, they're all powerless due to fear or, more often, corruption. And so the mayhem continues. Now the crime wave is threatening to move into our own proud city, New Temperance. It looks as though we will all become the victims of this terrible enemy of the people.
Well, that's the end of turn 4. Proved to be quite bloody. We'll start over here in Holland and Wolf. All 3 of the guards have now been eliminated by the American boys. They haven't seized control of the building yet, but I'm guessing that'll be in next turn. The guard that stood outside the original Chicago hotel is still around, although he's now out of ammunition due to firing off and jamming. Inside still remains bloody, with some short-range pistol firing going on between the 2 contenders who are in there. Over at the market, some ineffective firing has been going on between John Shelby and the white fedora toting gunman. Ada has been shot and killed by one of the market gunmen. This has caused Tommy Shelby and Arthur Shelby to run to avenge their sister. I don't really give out much hope for the guy that's in the middle. With the police over at the Red Lion finally succumbing to the combined weight of the Birmingham Boys. Alfie Solomons tried to coerce the landlady into turning over to the Birmingham Boys. However, he failed his attempt, and he'll have to try that next turn. At the moment, the score is 1-0 to the Birmingham Boys. However, Holland and Wolf is about to fall to the American Boys, most likely. The market is in the contention. The Red Lion is about to fall to the Birmingham Boys and the Chicago hotel. If that short-range firing pays off, they'll most likely take control of that building, which will then bring it to potentially 2-2, depending on who controls the market at the end. At the moment, an uneasy truce between the Birmingham Boys and the American Boys lasts. How long that lasts, with a few of open opportunities still remain. So at the end of turn 5, we have had some revenge in the Cool Beans Cafe by both Arthur and Tommy Shelby. They both stormed in and attacked. Arthur was a bit wild and fired into the ceilings. However, Tommy managed to do some close range firing with his Tommy gun and managed to kill the market guard. They're standing over the body of their sister, as we see. Guards have finally been killed in the actual brothel. The final guard was killed in close combat, with the American boy gangster managing to talk to the proprietress and saying it was probably better under their control. So the American boys now own the Chicago hotel. Over here, Holland and Wolf, final guards were killed, with the American boys boss moving their way down towards the manager to have that chat next time. And the uneasy truce seems to have formed into a bit of an alliance, as the final Tommy gun wielding guard over here in the market has had 2 lots of firings, both from the Birmingham boys and the American boys over here. Now it seems a bit of race to the centre, who can actually secure the market first and keep it. So whether that truce holds from the next turn is a different matter. Over at the Red Lion, Alfie Solomons, using all his airs and graces, has convinced the landlady, on the second attempt, to forego the police protection and have their protection, because obviously having police protection is not very useful around these days. The tenement block with the cheap speakeasy has not been attacked, and therefore those guards are still oblivious to what's going on, and they're very neutral. Same over with the high class speakeasy over in Lexington. That one's still untouched, and it's unlikely that they're going to be attacked in this game. So at the end of turn 6, the market has been seized by the Birmingham Boys. However, the truce, which was in force, has now broken down, with the American Boys shooting at the Birmingham Boys, mainly focused on John Shelby out in the middle of the road. However, what the American Boys didn't expect was all the returning fire onto one of their riflemen there, as well as the man that seized the Chicago hotel. Before that, the American Boys decided to try and have a pot shot at the tenement block, and whilst the guard outside wasn't killed, he ran back inside. So they're now hunkering down inside the brick walls, trying to survive until the end of the night. Holland and Wolf has been seized, and people have been moving up to try and do the fight. Got one more turn to see what happens between Birmingham Boys and the American Boys. At the moment, it's 5 gangsters to 7. Correction, 5 gangsters to 6 between the American Boys with 5 and the Birmingham Boys with 6 gangsters. Score-wise, the Birmingham Boys own the Red Lion, the Cool Beans Casino and Cafe, and also the market just behind, with the American Boys controlling the Chicago Hotel and the Harland and Wolff Brewery. So at the end of turn 7, the truce that broke down last turn has turned out badly for the American Boys. They've had a couple of their men slain, mainly with the marksman over here, and then the chap up here has received quite a bit of fire. However, it hasn't come off well for the Birmingham Boys either, with John Selby being cut down into the road by the American Boys boss over here. And that was basically the grand total of what happened in turn 7. Scores on the doors: the Birmingham Boys have 3 points. They control the Red Lion, the Cool Beans Cafe and Casino, and the Marketplace, with the American Boys controlling the Chicago Hotel brothel, with the Harland and Wolff Brewery also under control. As night falls, both sides will now retreat back to their strongholds and lick their wounds.
We've certainly got them scared down there in New Temperance. But what are you waiting for? This city is virgin territory, so get out there and take control. Do it your own way. But remember, real power is never given, it's taken.
Thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please like it, leave a comment and subscribe to the channel. This has been The Fighting Sailor, and I'll catch you in the next one.